James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play One by U2. This song uses just 5 chords, and the majority of it is just a couple simple chord progressions. I've put a table of contents in the description so you can just skip ahead to the part of this song that you want to watch. We're going to start out with the chords and strumming, and then we're going to figure out how to do all of the embellishments and all the cool parts that make it sound exactly like the song. So if you want to skip ahead to that, you can just take a look down below in the description. There's a table of contents, and you can go to whatever part you need the most work on. First, we'll take a look at the verse, and for the verse, we need 4 chord shapes. The first one is A minor. From there, we switch to D. Then we have F major 7. And for F major 7, there's a really easy way to play it. We skip the first string. We're going to leave that open. Then we put our first finger on the first fret of the next one. Middle finger on the 2nd fret. Pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. And then ring finger just over top of it on the 3rd fret of the A string. I get my thumb lightly over the top just to mute that low string. And then we have a G chord. And if you need help with those, I have a free ebook. It's free for all my subscribers, and it comes with all these bonus videos where I go over all the most common switches. So there's a video dedicated to going from A minor to D, and you can practice pretty much all these switches, or the majority of them, with my free ebook. It has all the tips for making clear chord shapes. So if that's where you're at, I highly recommend checking it out. Otherwise, if you're comfortable making the switches or you're on the brink of it, let's practice playing them in order. We're going to start off on A minor. We're just going to do downstrokes only, keeping the rhythm super duper simple and counting along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to D, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, going to G, and again. Couple more times. So once you can do that, once you can play the chords steadily, downstrokes only, making nice, clean switches, we're ready to move on and learn the strumming pattern, which goes like this. I'll play it a little bit slower. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that might look like a really long, complicated strumming pattern, but it's actually 2 fairly easy strumming patterns kind of glued together. Let's take a look at it like that. So the first half goes down, root, down, down, up. And that is a strumming pattern that I see a lot. It's in a ton of songs. It's one of the simpler ones. There's no syncopation or anything. We're just gonna do a downstroke on beat 1, then we play root. And root just means to hit the lower strings of the chord. So on A minor, that's the lower string. D, just the lower area. You don't go out of your way to just pick one note, just do a tiny stroke. That's all it means for root. So back to where we were. Down, root, down, down, up. So it's not too difficult, especially if you take the time, slow it down, and count it out. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I want you to get really good at that, doing it super slow at first and gradually speeding it up. Then we can take a look at the second half of this pattern, which goes like this. So this actually starts with a mute, and that's where we kind of just stop the strings with our hand. You don't have to go super hard. You can just stop them with the, kind of karate chopping the strings. Mute, up, down, and then it ends the same way. Down, down, up. And if we count it, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So that's pretty simple too. And I want you to just, once again, take it super slow. Go through the motions, counting it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and mute, up, down, 3 and 4 and just really working it out. And when you're ready, we can put the whole thing together. It'll go like this, super slow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and mute, up, down, and 3 and 4 and. So take your time with that, learn it in halves, then glue it all together. And when you're ready, we can add it to the chords and play the verse of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, next up is the chorus, which is super simple. It's only 3 chords. We already know 2 of them. The only new chord that we have to add is the C chord. And if you want to make the chord switching super easy, starting off on our C, we just move 1 finger to change to A minor. Then we leave our first finger down to change to F. And then we can leave both our first and our third finger down to go back to C, F to C. So I recommend trying that, just going C to A minor, just moving that 1 finger, A minor to F, leaving your first finger down, and then F to C, leaving these 2 fingers down. And once you're comfortable with that, we can put that together with the strumming pattern. It's going to be just like the last part, except the chords are a little bit different. You can always watch this section and then rewind it and try it the second or the third time after you see what's going on. We're going to start off on a C. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's it. Again. All right, so at this point we can play the verse, we can play the chorus. All that's left is the bridge, and this happens after the second chorus. It's quite similar to the chorus. So we're gonna play through this nice and slow. You have plenty of time to just watch it, figure out the chord order for yourself. Anyways, let's try it together now, nice and slow, just like we did with the verse and the chorus. Starting off on C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you want to take this to the next level, we can figure out that guitar part that they play on the intro. It goes like this. Then so it's just playing some chords, but adding some embellishments with our extra fingers. You know, when we're playing A minor, we're not doing anything with this finger, so we can use it to add some extra cool little bits to this song. And our right hand, our strumming arm, sorry if you're left-handed, it's gonna be the other way around, but our strumming arm is gonna be doing the same groove that we used for the rest of the song, you know, the same strumming pattern. But we're kind of gonna strip it down a bit and pick out some individual notes. You know, we're gonna get a little bit more accurate. It's not just gonna be strumming all the strings. We'll start off with the embellishments for the A minor chord. We start off down, down on the lower string. So it's like root, root, and then we strum the rest of the chord. Next we go. So I put my pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string and I did an upstroke. Then I removed it and I played those 3 strings. And then I played that string again. So far, this is what we have. And then all we have to do is just strum the high strings again. So step by step, root, root, strum, put our pinky down, 3, 3, we remove it, and strum the chord again. Then, this is optional, we can go. So we're plucking with our pinky down on the 3rd fret, we pull it off to the 1st fret, and then we pull that off. So we end up with like 3, 1, 0 on the B string, while we have our A chord ringing. And that's what he does on the original recording. You can hear it very clearly at the beginning. You don't have to do that. That's something that you will eventually get if you keep working on it, but don't worry about it for now. It's optional for now, but if you really want to get it, just keep working out those pull-offs. I have a lead guitar ebook that goes over all that kind of stuff. So, you know, work out some of those exercises first, and that'll get you ready to play this. Anyways, moving on. Next we have the D chord, and we're not gonna play the D shape. We're actually gonna do something totally different. We slide up to the 5th fret of the A string, and then we make a power chord shape. So 7 and 7 on the 2 middle strings. If you're not familiar with that, once again, it's in my lead ebook. So my first finger is barring these 3 strings, A, D, and G. I strum them all, then I remove these 2 fingers, so now I'm playing the 5th fret, and then back to the 7th, and back to the 5th, so just doing that a whole bunch will help you practice this. You know, it's tough even for me to do it a whole bunch. Like when I'm playing the song, you just play it for like, you know, for like a half a second, and then you move on to the next thing. But if you're holding it over and over again for a couple minutes, it might get kind of tiring. So, you know, do it in spurts. Take a break, do it again. Don't hurt yourself. Anyways, so we slide up to that note, pluck it again. Then we do that. Then we move on to the F chord. And for the F chord, we're gonna modify the shape a little bit. Instead of playing it like this, we're just gonna do this. So open, 1, 2, 3, just like a diagonal. We start off by going open on the D string, then planting our 3rd finger. We finish the chord shape. We strum it. And then we do the same thing that we did on A minor. You know, once we go, we put our pinky down on the 3rd fret of the B string. Really simple. It's just like the A minor, except we're holding a different chord. And then we go, so we pull off from the third to the first. So it's not as difficult as that other one, but still it's optional. And then we slide this shape. So we just slide it from here, it's F, it becomes G. So on F, the last thing we do is we strum it, and then we can slide it into the G, then we hit the G chord again, and now we're gonna be embellishing on this fret, the 5th fret of the G string. Just try that a few times just to get used to the motion. And now in the actual song, we go. So slide up, strum, then 5, 4, 5, 4, 4. I'm just thinking about that pinky finger. 5, 4, 5, 4, 4. And then we start the whole thing again. So now I'll take us through it uber slow. I'll just show you how to do every single motion step by step, starting off on A minor. Then so work that out. Once again, I always say this, work that out super slowly. You want to get the motions correct, get everything in the right order, and then once you have that, you can speed it up gradually and start to get like the feeling of the song going. That's what we would play over the verse, and for the chorus, it would go like this. We're gonna start off on C. So it's exactly like what we do over A minor. You know, ru, strum. And then we go to A minor and we do the same thing. Then we go to F, same thing. So if you can play the verse, this part's gonna be a cinch. You already are used to all those motions. It's just a matter of changing the chord shapes. We go C, A minor, F, C, and that's it. Now, if you listen to the original recording, he's doing that pretty prominently up until the end of the first chorus. After the first chorus, I would revert to just strumming the chords, because that's when the beat comes in and everything, and you wanna make sure that you have a really solid beat. If you want, you can totally continue this, but I would save that for the more chill parts of the song. All right, so that's how you play One by U2, and I hope you have a good time practicing this one. All the time you invest into it is totally gonna pay off, because there are a lot of songs that have embellishments and stuff that are quite a bit easier than this. So if you can do this one, those other ones are gonna be an absolute cinch. And if you need any extra help with this one, don't forget to check out my lead guitar ebook. It goes over all the fundamentals of lead guitar. And if you're just strumming this one and you need help with the strumming, I also have an ebook for strumming. I have a beginner challenge. There's the free trial of my course. I have a ton of resources available for free. There's links down below to all of that. So please check out any of that stuff if you need extra help. Don't hesitate to ask anything in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.